Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Mfjj here with PodiumArcher.com, looking at the PSE Mach 33 DS with the FDS cam.
Soccer style kicker, graduated from Collier High, June 1976, Stetson University.
Ooh, that was a lot of words. I hope I got all those right. This is probably more the specs out of their line that I personally would like to look at. We did the Sicario, and I was incredibly impressed with how fast it was. And I didn't really mind the draw force curve of the cam. Something I will say about aggressive cams. Most of them you will just simply get used to. It's not a big deal. Every once in a while, and I'm not going to name names because I feel like it would be throwing certain brands under the bus or certain types of bows under the bus. Every once in a while, you'll get one that's just like, I don't know if anybody will ever get used to this. Like, it feels so ridiculously aggressive. This does not feel like that. So I don't know what they did with that cam system, but it's aggressive, but it's not an aggressive that you wouldn't get used to. So let's just get that out of the way. And I would like to praise, again, PSE for making an American-made carbon fiber bow that is under $2,000. This is an American-made product, and it's light, and it's smooth, and it's fast, and it's all the good things. This bow has 6 3/8 brace height, 3.9 pounds. Goes from 25.5 to 31 inches of draw length, a 33-inch axle to axle, and claiming 342 FPS. And after testing the Sicario, it might actually get really close to that. But we'll see. Let's measure some stuff. Okay, so 33 axle to axle. Yep, that looks spot on 33. Let's look at our brace height, 6 3/8. Looks like 6 3/8 to me. So those are good. Let's check our reflex. All right, looks like right at 2 inches of reflex. Yep. 2 inches of reflex. And our riser length, 29 inches. All right, so we got this little dampener on here that I guarantee you they do not weigh. Okay, so we're sitting at 4.2, and we give 2/10 for the rest. You could take the limb dampeners out, and it would probably weigh 3.9. So that's probably relatively accurate. 70 pounds exactly for all your haters. I'd say 30 1/8 or so is probably the actual draw length here. Seems like everybody's in that 1/8 to quarter longer realm, which that's close. I mean, it's hard to bitch and moan about it, but I still might. Looks like right on 33 on the loadout point. All right, so we are at the Mach 33 DS with the FDS cam. 70 pounds, 30 inches, 350 grain arrow. We're looking for 342. Yeah, I mean, this is an aggressive cam, but it does not feel bad at all. Like, for an aggressive cam, it's pretty darn smooth. .333, 337, so that's a 335 average. 338, 340. Yeah, there's just a new level of higher speed. Yeah. And yeah, it's just shocking to me. It does not pull that bad. Like, for how fast it is, it shouldn't be this. It should pull harder. 337, 337. So there you go. We're gonna call her 337. Let's shoot some 450s. All right, 450. Here we go. 302. 304.5, so that's a 303 average.
That's pretty good.
That's cooking, man. Not very many bows push over 300 with a 450. It's fast. 299, 300. It was 302. What was it before? Oh, I knew that was going to happen at some point. 299. So we'll call it 301. Yeah, let's shoot some 650s.
What just happened?
I shot over the bill. All right, 650s, adult arrows. We're adulting today. It's just so hard to do because 254, 253, 253, 252, 252, 251. So we'll call it 252 for those. And we'll reset this at 29 inches and get you a speed on that. .290, so 291 average there. That's impressive for a freaking 29-inch draw length.
Seriously.
Yeah. 289, 292. We'll stick with the 291 average. 291, 289. So we'll go to a 291 average. Now we'll go set this at 65 pounds to get you your realistic aero speed, which is what we want to have be the relevant thing that we're measuring someday. I'd love to see brands, I don't know if I want to say forced to advertise, but to emphasize that this is the average, the speed that they're going to publish and show is a realistic aero speed, which is 29 inches, 65 pounds, and a 450 grain arrow, because it's what the majority of people are going to use anyway. All right, now we are testing the realistic arrow speed. 65 pounds, 29 inches, and a 450 grain arrow. So feels like I'm going to shoot that chronograph. 278.
And that's going to come into me.
281, 277, so 279 average. One more. That sounded more like it. 278, 278. All right.
277.
So let's go 278 for the average and give you some decibels. So it's been multiple years of considering whether I should do this or not, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm not sure if I should, but we're going to find out. Not everybody can afford to buy a new bow. I understand that. And I really don't think there's a good marketplace in which to buy used bows where you can ensure that what you're getting is relatively safe. So I thought I'd create one on podiumarcher.com. We'll be selling used bows that have new gas strings on them out of the gate to make sure that everything that you're getting is safe and ready to use. And we can also, put equipment on it, that sort of thing. But we will have a national trade-in program. We will ship you a bow box, and you can ship us back the bow after it's inspected if you're trading them in. We have a predetermined price that's published on our website. You can go look at it whenever you want. It does change monthly. We'll give you credit for podiumarcher.com after we've inspected your bow. And for you shops out there that have old inventory or don't want to trade in used bows, we'll take them from you too and give you a credit also at podiumarcher.com, which if you're a dealer out there and you need small little fill-ins, we have a dealer portal. It's on the home page. Go to the bottom, click the dealer pricing icon, fill it out, and you can buy from us too at a reduced price, just so you know.
All
right, so we got an 81 average on the decibels. We're going to put her in the Torquematic 5000 and then get you some math going. Here we go, Torquematic 5000. Oh yeah, I can feel that. 5 pounds, 3 ounces. 4 pounds, 10 ounces. So there's definitely some variance in the way a person can pull on this. 5 pounds, 0 ounces. So we're going to call that 5 pounds. That's the highest number we've seen. Maybe there is something to dynamic brace height. So Torquematic 5000 was 5 pounds. It's the highest number we've seen yet. That's pretty darn impressive. And it should directly correlate back to that's actually really measuring a difference, because the Sicario was 4, but it was still a high number based off of the dynamic brace height difference. So that might actually really be a true measurable thing. But realistic arrow speed was 278. The one that jumps out as a little odd is the 450. Sorry, the 450 30-inch to 29-inch, losing 14 feet a second. The Sicario lost 11. So that might be a bit of an anomaly. It might not be that bad, but it's 14 foot a second per inch. As you get more and aggressive in a cam, it might be more likely that it loses speed faster. So on the note of speed, let's see what we have. 337, I'll give you a 12 here. The weight, we called it 4, so we're going to go 4, 7. Tunability. Tunability, I'm going to give you a 6 because you don't have any timing features and you have basically spacers. They are easier to remove than a standard spacer because you don't have to take the axle out, so it's helpful, but I'd like to see more things in that direction. And it does kind of seem like a lot of other brands are really focusing on that, so I'd like to see you focus on that. Integration and features. There are a front mount pick, rear mount IMS, integrated quiver system, not an integrated V-bar option. But for a carbon bow to have as many adaptive things, that's pretty good. I'm going to give you a 7 for integrated features. Honesty. So honesty, your axle to axle was spot on, your brace height was spot on, your weight was within a 1/10, your draw length was within an 1/8, your speed was within 5. I got to give you a 13 for honesty. That's awesome. Feel. So it's got a squared edge grip, which I really prefer. It does feel relatively rigid on the shot. Not a lot of felt vibration or recoil. More the specs I would like. In feel, I'd give you an 8. Design. Making a carbon bow is not the easiest thing in the world to do. And as it's been pointed out to me on multiple occasions, it's not possible to make a carbon bow for $2,000 in the United States. And they've got a carbon bow right there for $2,000 in the United States. There's a lot going on there, and there might really be something to this dynamic brace height thing. So we're going to give you an 8 on design. Value. There are more expensive carbon bows in the market. It is a US made carbon bow. Honestly, I know 2,000 is a lot. I say a bow should never cost $2,000. Technically it doesn't, it's under it. I'm actually going to give you a 4 for value. Sound was 81 decibels right in the middle of the road. So it's been right in the middle of our average, and for a sub 4-pound bow, that's pretty good, but I'll give you a 3 there. Appeal. There's a lot of positive things going on with this bow. It's pretty damn appealing. Once again, US made. I'm going to give you a 3. Let's see what you get. 12, 19, 25, 32, 35, 45, 53, 61, 65, 71. 71. Now, this bow is actually relatively appealing to me. It's more the specs of my personal preference because of my draw length and the things that I do. And that 5 ranking on 5 pounds of force to move that over is pretty shocking. I got to be honest. I'm pretty amazed. So comment down below on what you think of these videos, that new test, which has nothing to do with the score because we're not sure yet on how well that works or if it's valid. Follow along for more. We're going to have lots of videos coming out. Everybody's bows on launch day. Hopefully, if all things go well, should be able to give you good, accurate information and good numbers to give you a comparison. So hopefully you can make the decision for your new bow this year sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching.